everyone, how was your week? I hope you had a good one. How did this picture turn out of the houses? Were they the same or were they different? Well, when we continue in Genesis today, we're going to skip just a little bit ahead. But let me catch you up on what's happened so far. So, God created the heavens and the earth. He made animals and He made humans. Remember, He made Adam and Eve. Well, Adam and Eve were told not to eat fruit of a certain tree. Now, a lot of people say it's an apple, but we don't really know if it's an apple. It could be a banana. It could be a pineapple. It could be a papaya. We don't know. But God told them not to eat a fruit of that tree. And you know what? The serpent tricked Eve, and she ate it and gave it to Adam. And then sin came into the world. And then they had kids, and their kids had kids, and their kids had kids. So now there's lots of people in the world. And everyone is wicked. There's lots of evil in the world and sin all around. And that's where our story picks up today. So we're going to dive right into the Bible. We're going to study Noah. Do you guys know the story of Noah? Well, we're going to have fun reading about Noah today. Remember, everyone's Bible is a little bit different. So the words might not be the same. The message is always the same. If you don't want to read from your Bible, that's okay. The words are going to be here right here. And we can all read them together. I'm going to start in Genesis 6. We're starting with chapter 6, verse 9. This is the family history of Noah. Noah was a good man, the most innocent man of his time. He walked with God. He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. People on earth did what God said was evil, and violence was everywhere. When God saw that everyone on the earth did only evil, He said to Noah, "Because people have made earth full of violence, I destroy all of them from the earth. Build a boat of cypress wood for yourself." Now some versions say gopher wood. Some might even say a different kind of wood. But the important thing is God told him to make a boat made of wood. Make rooms in it and cover it inside and outside with tar. You guys know what tar is? Tar is that sticky stuff. A lot of times you smell it and it smells really bad and they put it on roofs. Sometimes they put it on roads to make it smooth. But the important thing is it makes the boat watertight. This is how big I want you to build the boat. Now some Bibles say cubit. You guys ever heard of a cubit? You know how big a cubit is? Well, a cubit measures from your elbow to the middle finger on your hand. Mathematicians have now done calculations and they can figure out how big that is. So in my Bible, it tells us how much in feet. That's something we can understand. This is how big I want you to build the boat. 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. Make an opening around the top of the boat that's 18 inches high from the edge of the roof. Put a door in the side of the boat. Make an upper, middle, and lower deck in it. Let's talk numbers. So we just read about how big the boat is. But that's kind of hard to picture in our heads, isn't it? So let's break it down a little bit. Now we just learned that it's 450 feet long. Well, how long is that? Have you guys ever been to a football field? Do you guys know how long that is? It's 100 yards. But in feet, if you put 1.5 of those, like in the picture right here, that's how long the boat is. So the boat is literally like a foot or a football field and a half. Now let's talk about how wide it is. It's 75 feet wide. So we took that same football field and broke it up into 4 equal parts. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, then if you do 3 of those, or 3/4 if you guys know fractions, that's how wide the boat is. Well, let's talk about how tall it is. It's 45 feet tall. Now, if you divide it into top, middle, and lower, that's roughly about 12 feet tall for each floor. Now humans are 6 feet tall, roughly. Do you think they need that full 12 feet? Probably not. But what about a giraffe? Do you guys know how tall giraffes are? But giraffes are roughly 15 to 20 feet. So, do you think they could fit in that 12 feet? Probably not. Not. But let's think about this. If humans are only 6 feet tall, can we make one of the floors even taller and one of the floors shorter? Yeah, because we still have 6 feet on that 12 feet, don't we? So that means that we can make one floor bigger. And therefore, the giraffes actually can walk around. Because some people think it's impossible to get all those animals on the earth, especially with all their food. But it's possible, isn't it? I will bring a flood of water on the earth to destroy all the living things that live under the sky, including everything that has the breath of life. Everything on the earth will die. But I will make an agreement with you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives will go into the boat. Also, you must bring into the boat 2 of every living thing, male and female. Keep them alive with you. 2 of every kind of bird, animal, and crawling thing that come to you to be kept alive. And gather some of every kind of food and store it on the boat. It's food for you and your animals. Noah did everything that God commanded him to do. Now let's think about this. If you were Noah's neighbors, what would you think? Here's this crazy guy building this big boat. First of all, you might not even know what a boat is. Second of all, some people say it had never even rained before. So, some people might not even know what rain is. They don't know what a boat is. Well, what about Noah's family? What do you think Noah's family thought? You know what? Let's find out. Hey, Dad. Oh, hey, boys. Did you get the tar? Yeah, we got the tar. Oh, good. I just finished a sheep pen. You guys have finished up there tarring. Can you meet me in the second deck? Dad, we need to talk. What's the matter? It's about this boat, Dad. People are starting to talk. Son, people have been talking about this boat for 50 years. I know, Dad, but people are starting to get mean. What are they saying? They're saying things like, hey, there goes Ham. Is he a man or is he lunch meat? Lunch meat? That's not all, Dad. We've been building this boat for 100 years, saying the flood's gonna come. People are making fun of us. I know all about that. Well, do you also know there's never been anything like this flood you keep talking about? Much less rain? I know that, boys, but I'll do what God told me. Build it big enough for 2 of every animal. That's the other thing, Dad. How are we gonna get 2 of every animal in here? God will send them. Is he gonna send 2 of everything to us, Dad? Like rhinos and buffalo and Cape buffalo? Those things are nasty. And what about snakes? Are we getting 2 of all of those too? Some of those are poisonous. Boys, we've been through this. I don't know how it's gonna work. I'm just doing what God told me. You really believe God's gonna do all this, huh? I do. And if we were to walk off the job, would you still build? I would, but if I were you, I'd start tying that sheep pen. And if we don't, how long can you tread water? Sheep pens, huh? And then meet me on deck 2. You got it, Pop.
Well, that was kind of silly, wasn't it? Can you imagine how his family actually thought, though? He maybe actually thought he was being silly and didn't really trust him. The important thing is he trusted God. Now let's jump back into the Bible. We're going to start reading chapter 7 this time, or verse 4. You guys can find it?
And now, chapter 7, verse 4. 7 days from now, I will send rain on this earth. It will rain 40 days and 40 nights. And I will wipe off from the earth every living thing that I have made. Noah did everything the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old.
Whoa, you guys hear that? Noah was 600 when he made the ark. Now people in Bible times lived a lot longer, but can you imagine building an ark at 600 years old?
He and his wife and his sons and their wives went into the boat to escape the waters of the flood. The clean animals, the unclean animals, the birds, and everything that crawls on the ground came to Noah. They went into the boat into groups of 2, male and female, just as God has commanded Noah. 7 days later, the flood started. And now verse 12. The rain fell on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. On that same day, Noah and his wife and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives went into the boat. They had every kind of wild and tame animal, every kind of animal that crawls on the earth, and every kind of bird. Every creature that had the breath of life came to Noah in the boat in groups of 2, 1 male and 1 female, with every living thing, just as God commanded Noah. Then the Lord closed the door behind him. Water flooded the earth for 40 days, and as it rose, it lifted the boat off the ground. The water continued to rise, and the boat floated on it above the earth. The water rose so much that even the highest mountains under the sky were covered with it. It continued to rise until it was more than 20 feet above the mountains. And now verse 23. God destroyed from the earth every living thing that was on land, every man, animal, crawling thing, and bird of the sky. All that was left was Noah and what was with him on the boat. And the waters continued to cover the earth for 150 days. Now chapter 8. But God remembered Noah and all the wild and tame animals with him in the boat. He made a wind blow over the earth, and the water went down. The underground springs stopped flowing, and the clouds in the sky stopped pouring down the rain. The water that covered the earth began to go down, and after 150 days it had gone down so much the boat touched dry land again. It came to rest on one of the mountains of Ararat, on the 17th day of the 7th month. Now, verse 6. 40 days later, Noah opened the window he made in the boat. He set out a raven. It flew here and there until the water had dried up from the earth. Then Noah sent down a dove to find out if the water had dried up from the ground. The dove could not find a place to land, because the water still covered the earth, so it came back to the boat. Noah reached out his hand and took the bird and brought it back into the boat. After 7 days, Noah again sent out the dove from the boat. And that evening it came back to him with a fresh olive leaf in its mouth. Then Noah knew that the ground was almost dry. 7 days later he sent the dove out again, but this time it did not come back. Now verse 15. Then God said to Noah, "You and your wife and your sons and your wives should go out in the boat. Bring every animal out of the boat with you, the birds, animals, and everything that crawls on the earth. Let them have many young ones, so they may grow in number." And now we're going to jump to chapter 9, verse 8. Then God said to Noah and his sons, "Now I am making my agreement with you and your people who will live after you, and with every living thing that is with you, the birds, the tame, and the wild animals, and with everything that came on the boat with you, with every living thing on earth. I make this agreement with you. I will never again destroy all the living things by a flood. A flood will never again destroy the earth." And God said, "This is the sign of the agreement between me and you and every living creature that is with you. I am putting my rainbow in the clouds as a sign of the agreement between me and the earth. And there are clouds of the earth, and a rainbow appears in them. I remember my agreement between you and every living thing. Floods will never again destroy life on the earth."
Do you like rainbows? I've always loved rainbows. Always loved looking for them. And every time I see a rainbow now, I try to take a picture. Because I remember the promise that God made to us. He's not going to destroy the earth, and He loves us. Plus, I just think they're really pretty. So, now we talked about the Bible and the story. But what does that mean for us? It's a cool story and all, and God saved the world by putting Noah and his family and all the animals on the earth. But what does it mean for us? Think about it this way. You guys ever been to the store in the summer and see winter coats? I think that's kind of strange to see winter coats when it's so hot out. But why did the stores do that? Yeah, they're getting you ready for winter, so that when winter comes, you have the protection of the winter coat. Well, just like Noah, God told him to build an ark, so that he was prepared to save all the animals and to save his family. He listened to God, and did what he did, and he was saved. Much like us, we need to listen to hear God's voice. Now, it's probably not going to be really loud like God told Noah, but it might be in a small whisper just when we're getting ready to sleep, maybe when we're taking a walk, maybe when we're writing. God always has a message for us. We just gotta listen to it. That's the important thing. We have to listen to God, and we need to follow what He tells us. That's the message today. It's also a really cool story. So it's the last Sunday of the month. Let's say our Bible verse for the last time this month. Remember Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So I hope you guys have a great week. We'll pray, and then I'll tell you guys about your homework. Dear God, thank you so much for telling us about Noah, so we can learn how to listen to you and do the right thing. Thank you also for sending us that rainbow that we always have a promise that you will never destroy the earth. Thank you so much for everything that we learned. We love you very much. Amen. Now for your homework. What I want you guys to do is to get all different kinds of animals, write them down on a piece of paper. Each piece of paper has one animal. Now, one at a time, I want someone to pick an animal out of the bowl, but that person cannot look at the animal. They're gonna tape it to their back so that everybody can see what the animal says. Then, they can ask yes or no questions so they can try to figure out what the animal is. Maybe like, is it a reptile? Does it have hair? Does it like the sun? Stuff like that, until they can answer and figure out what the animal is. Then, as a family, I want you guys to think about all the animals that came in the ark. Think about all that God did for them. Think about what you can do for the earth. Maybe you can pick up some pollution this week. Maybe you can recycle this week. There's lots of things we can do for God's earth, isn't there? So that's what you're going to do for this week. Like I said, fun and easy. So I'll see you guys later. Have fun. Bye.